How about now? Can you guys hear me well? Okay, the mic is too low. Okay, I'm gonna try. Hello. Okay, so welcome everyone. This is my first time ever doing a live stream, so it's not gonna be perfect, but bear with me. 일단 여기 제 첫 라이브 스트림에 놀러와 주신 분들에게 환영합니다. 한국말이랑 영어랑 조금씩 바꿔가면서 할 테니까 네, 시작을 해보겠습니다. 이거를 소리를 어떻게 하지? 지금 제 방 자체가 너무 에코가 심해서 방에 아무것도 없거든요. Okay, let's go. 자, 뭐부터 시작해야 되지? 일단 for those, okay, 그냥 적어야겠다. Okay. Hi, I'm an animator, and for those who are new here, I will be showing you guys a short introduction video of me. It's my reel. Let's start off with this one. tutorial. Yeah, so today it's not gonna be anything detailed tutorial or educational, anything like that. It's gonna be very short introduction of me, of myself, and I'm just gonna show you guys a little bit of a workflow with the work that I do. And I haven't actually chose a project which one I'm going to be showing you guys, but maybe you guys can share that with me. So I have this project here, like all these stuff. Let me know if you guys have a preference, if you guys, which one you guys like to see inside of the After Effects. I'll be looking at the live chat. Okay, someone said Destiny. I'll start with the Destiny. Don't save. Okay, I will do the life and death next. Alright, let's see. Here you go. So let's play this real quick. For some reason I don't have a font. I'm missing a font here, so I have to fix that. It's gonna be slow, so let's just watch the renders first. Okay, so here's a render of the piece. I came up with this idea when I was playing a game, pinball. I was like, maybe I think it would be fun if I replace the ball into a human. And then I also wanted to make some kind of a connection with the girl and the boy. I had this thought for a very long time and I wasn't sure how to execute it exactly. Then one day I was very motivated by something randomly and I just did it. And it took me about 2 to 3 weeks to finish. It wasn't that much of work, but it was more of a finessing it and also like making sure the concept was right. I had a lot of a trial and error on designs as well as the animation. Again, I am sorry for the echo. I just moved here and my room is completely like empty and there's nothing I can do about it. I have to like build a foam wall or something. But anyway, bear with me. So let's look into this file. Okay, here's a sketch actually. So here's like a very rough sketch. This was a very rough idea how I was gonna do the animation. And then when I thought it was ready, I started designing and animating. So if you look here, let's see. I haven't opened this file in a long time, so maybe it's this one. So here's a boy. So you can see that this green layer here, the null, is the master. So this layer does all the big movements from start, from like spinning, and you can also see the some gradient here. Here it falls. Let me turn on the space bar on this, so then you can see. So if you look here, I have my arms. Now it does this, and also I use the path to animate the details, like the I can make it flex, I can make it fold, stuff like this. And also, since the character design here is very simple, it wasn't really hard to animate, and that was the point. I wanted the bigger picture of the character, meaning I wanted to have like a wider shot of the character, so it didn't need to be a very detailed character. And also, if you click the body, you can move the body like this. And I'm not sure if you can see, but here's the controller for the legs. So everything is hand animated. So if you look at the keyframes here, oops, deleted that by accident. So you can see all the keyframes used like one by one. And whenever I have a impact moment, I try to add like a what do you call it? The squash and stretch, so that it gives a little bit of a life. So you see here, like boom, stuff like this. And also, whenever there's a fast movement, I try to add in the echo, or yeah, here you go. It's just like duplicates and giving a little bit of a low latency, low opacity. Yeah, so it's always fun animating small characters with a big movements like this. The good thing about animating a very simple design character is that I get to have more flexibility with the animation. I can make it crazy movements, which is always fun. let's look at the girl now. Whoops. Oh, that's weird. So here's a girl, you know, same as the if you want to look at the layers, yeah, and then let's look at obstacles. So this is where all the fun begins. So if you look at this, let's see how I animated this. It's just the path animation. See that? Do that, and then it makes it just boom with a little bit of a bounce. And then what else? Yeah, so that was it. The background details here. For some reason I can't activate my tab button. I think it's colliding with the stream, so I can't use my tab button to go back. It's a little annoying, but I'll make it work. Alright, so that was the Destiny. What else do you guys want to see? I don't want to spend too much time on one project. Let's move on to okay, someone said Happy Virus. Yes, I'll do Happy Virus. I like that project. Let's move on to Happy Virus. 김수빈님이 해피 바이러스를 추천하셨네요. 한번 열어보겠습니다. Don't save. Oh yeah, Life and Death. Sorry. I will do Life and Death after this, I promise. Okay, let's see. AG here. So let's look at the render first. You know, Happy Virus is almost like a little more than a year old now. So looking back, I'm not completely happy with it. I would have done some stuff differently, but yeah, it's always interesting to look at my old project. Oh, but there's no sound here. Give me 1 second. There you go. Okay, here it is. check out the character. Yes, the character. Where's the character? Here we go. Oh, that's not it. There you go. So here's the whole character. Let's play this. 할아버지 춤추는 거는 특별한 이유가 없어요. 사실 그냥 넣어봤습니다. 조금 느리네요, 이게 지금. 자, 여기 보시면은 이게 조금 옛날 프로젝트라 조금 열기가 어쩔 수 없죠. 여기 이제 컨트롤이 있고, so here's a controller. Oh, it's so slow. I have to turn off the adjustment layer real quick. There you go. 다리가 있고. If I were to build this today again, I think I would have rigged this differently, because right now it's not the most efficient way. It's a little heavy, and I would have done it a lot more optimized. That's the word. So here's the arm. It's very complicated here. Over the yeah, here it is. So 이 발을 이렇게 움직이고, you can bend like this and then you can stretch. And let's see what else. So basically, whenever I have like a jump or sliding, anything big movements, I always have the master parent layer, and then I use that. So this is my parent layer, I believe. So I use this as like the most big movements. Like, here's a spinning as well. And then I start adding the legs, limbs, and stuff. So there you go. Also, if you look at here, I have a spin, and that's when I do a spin move here. And then the 3D rotation here, this one's a little tricky. Yeah. So if I go inside of this pre-comp, so this is a whole another layer. It wasn't, I didn't build this within the same layers here, but I have another pre-comp here that is totally separate. And then I just made it like 360 rotation. It's almost frame by frame. And then just make it spin. So, to understand the frame by frame, I literally mean like frame by frame. It doesn't have like any controller where it makes the character spin, or it's not rigged. It's just like moving the position, moving the path, animating the position and opacity and all that. So if you look at the character head, I also have like a separate precon for the 360 rotation for the head as well. So you can see that I have a layer here. It's turned off by opacity, and then when the next frame it turns on. And then up till here it turns on and then it turns off. Actually for this one it's actually moved, it flips. So here all I have to do is animate the perfect 90 degrees rotation. I mean 180 degrees rotation, and then as soon as it's flipped I use this trick scale. So I just flip it, and then I reuse the keyframes from the previous. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but and yeah, so that's the 360 rotation. And if I were to delete this mask, then it just shows the head. It's not the most clean, but you know, it does the job. And let's look at the flowers. I have like a bunch of flowers here. Everything's all animated manually, you know, here. That's one flower. There's another flower. And another flower. And to give a little bit of a bounciness, I added this expression. So it's just one keyframe, but then it gives the bounciness. And let's see if there's anything else that I can show you guys. So I like this flower, or the leaves. Alright, here's the happy virus. Hope that was informative. Let's move on to life and death. Life and death. Where is life and death? Hold on. Here we go. Don't save. So let's look at the full render first. 그 옛날 고전 게임 2D 그런 느낌이 좀 비슷하게 나지 않는 그런 영향을 많이 받았던 것 같아요. 자, 여기서 이제 so let's see. Background. Let's show you the background first. It's just simple background. Everything all designed in the Illustrator. You know what? I'll show you the Illustrator files too. Actually, give me 1 second. Images. So if you look at the designs, it's a little complicated. Hold on, give me 1 second. I can't find the file that I want to show you guys. Hold on. No, this isn't. Oh, this is the character movements without the lens. Anyway, so this is all designed in the After Effects. I mean the Illustrator, sorry. And one of the reasons I bring this in to a PNG instead is because I want the project to be optimized as much as possible. And sometimes Illustrator file itself can be clunky a bit. So I figured the PNG file is the lightest and the fastest. So New York scene. So this one took me about a month, like 4 weeks. And again, if I were to do this without any problems or errors, like I could have done this maybe within like 2 weeks or less. But just because, you know, I design and then I scrap it and I start over, a lot of trial and errors, and that takes a long time. So executing the animation and design isn't that hard, but finalizing the concept is the toughest part for me, I feel like. And let's look into the animation. Characters. So yeah, character 1 here, Sean. I named him Sean for some reason, I don't know why. It's just very random. So as you can see, I have a. Oh, let's look at the butterfly first. I wanted the butterfly movement to be very random and fast. And if you look at the wings, it's 3D. I use the Z rotation to, no. Oh, here you go. So Y rotation to make the flop, the wings maybe. And then it's looped using an expression. And then I just make the movements very random. Oh, that's my screen. And let's look at the characters now. So here's the main layer, as I said before, the parent layer, and it has all the big movements. Yeah. And then if you look at frame by frame, I try to add like smears and stuff to make it more dynamic. See, adding this little bit of a detail, it helps to have more impactful movement. This one too. It's all keyframed. And let's move on to the next stage. The TV. Oh, it's not this one. Oh, that's a girl. I named the girl Jenny and the guy Sean. Don't ask why, it's very random. There's no reason. Alright, again, the master layer here. He goes up, he does a cartwheel, jump, play game, jump, bumps into the wall. Oh, for those who are asking which rigging tool I use my own tool. It's called DeeKay tool. It's made by Motion Design School, and then I am just the skin, I guess. Yeah, they just named the rigging tool after my name, which is pretty cool. I'll show you guys details in a bit after this. And then let's move on to the next part. The working. This was exactly me in 20s. I worked way too much during my 20s. Looking back, I wish I spent less working and just trying to spend more time to enjoy myself a bit, like travel or something. But unfortunately, I haven't done that. For me, 20s was just like always hustle. So if you look at here, I just made this one perfect animation from here to here, and then I reuse the keyframes because it's the same animation. I copied this keyframes and then paste it here again, and then I just moved the movements here. And then the smears, of course. And all the smears are just all manual. Actually, I drew this in the Illustrator and brought it in. Again, I am very sorry for the echo sound. It's my room. I don't have the mic set up yet, so please bear with me. I'll try to find a better setup next time. And let's get this one. The little kid. So let me show you this. Here's the start. Here's the end, right? If I move this keyframe, I deleted the master keyframe and it just runs in a same position and it just loops. So what I do is I make the perfect loop animation. And then I copy all the keyframes here, paste it multiple times, and then on the master layer, I use the master layer to move around like this. So you can see that there's a keyframe from here, starting from here, and then it goes all the way to here, and it just moves. But without this keyframes, it just stays in place and runs. 보자. 그리고 또 뭘 보여줘야 되지? The backgrounds. This, for some reason, whenever I render through MP4, the color kind of washes away. And at the end, I always try to bump up the colors using adjustment layer. And I bump up the color so that when I render it, it kind of fades, but then it still stays in a spot where I want the colors to be. So it's a little annoying. Alright, what other projects do you guys want to see? I'll do one more. Actually, I want to show you guys this one, DeeKay tool. I like this one. I'll show you guys DeeKay tool. Save. Yes, my voice is echoing. I said this many times, but I don't have a perfect setup yet. I just moved in and I have nothing on my room, so apologies for the echo. This is my DeeKay tool. I'll show you guys how I do the rigging as well. This. Let me show you guys the full video. DeeKay tool. Let's open this up. I haven't opened this in a while, so when this happens, okay. Is it this? Yep. So this is real, the real rigging and the combo. The character. Alright, let me show you guys a little bit of a DeeKay tool. Actually, let me show you this part first and then I'll move on. Because I personally like this part. When he runs, right? He runs and then just slaps. Boop. Boop. So this animation, it connects to here. And then it breaks apart. So if you look at here, all these layers are like manually animated to form up the name, the DeeKay tool. So let's look at just one layer here. This one bounces up and then lands there. About this one. This one just pops. Then this one goes up and then it bounces on the eye. Yeah, so I start from here and then added it when he lands. Then you see the full animation of him breaking apart into the DeeKay tool title. Alright, let me show you a little bit of the rigging. So here's my tool. I click create. Outlines, no caps, except if you want to do taper, you could do taper, but I usually don't. I try to make the rig as light as possible, so whenever I'm animating, I don't have much trouble. Click accept, then here you go. You see the legs, move around, right? And the bottom part, I usually like to have the roundness to 15%. What this does is the how round you want your knees to be. So that's the leg. And as many of you know, I do the outline to black, not 100% black, but 161616. And then I usually have shorter legs than this, so I go like lower, something like that, you know. And then I do this. I'm making a body right now, if you're curious. One six, 1616. Let's make that 10. I'll make this outline the width to be 10 as well. Okay, 10. And I'll make the color to white. Right. The controller, I usually make that to red. Then I can duplicate this. Yeah, there you go. Here you go. Body layer is here. And then let's parent this to body. So whenever I move body, it's like this. And I want this ending position to be the other way around. So I have to make the direction this way. There you go. And then from this, I usually do make another layer. The null layer, and then I parent this as a master. I usually make the layer dark green. So whenever I want to have the whole character move, I use this to move around. And then whenever I need to add the details, then I use this. So let me show you a very basic jump. From here, say it jumps all the way to here, right? And it jumps back down to here. So here's a jump. Oops. Right? Let's make that shorter. 10 frames, 20 frames. Alright, and then I make this. I'm not gonna go over the details, but I make this to influence to 100%, and it gives a little bit of dynamic to it. Let's make this a little low so that you can actually see the full body. Right? So when it jumps, actually it starts with this keyframe here, the body. I want the body to have the ready position, and then when it jumps, it opens up the leg. There you go. So right, it jumps. Then when it lands, I want this to have a little bit of a bounce. So from here it does this, here, does this, does that. Make that 40%. There you go. Then let's say when it jumps, I want this to have some kind of a movement. Let's make this. It's a little too much. Going back. There. That was a very short, in-depth animating the character. I did that in like, I don't know, 5 minutes. Alright, I think I am done today. I'll have a little bit of a AMA session starting from now. I'll try to answer your questions, guys. Let's see. Any questions, guys? What is the panel on the left side? Okay. So I can't go over all the plugins and the scripts that I use, but maybe you guys can screen capture this and go search. Basically, I use the Keysmith a lot. This is very old script. It just adjusts your influences on the keyframes for the velocity. And the motion tool, I think this is pretty well known. It creates a null. It also clones the keyframes. And shifting the layers, it shifts the layers. Let's say you have like a bunch of layers here. If you wanna shift the layers, you know, you could shift the layers by 2 frames or stuff like that. And the colors, oh, this is cool. So if I bring up the color here, I could actually change the color here right away. So if I want to change the controller, if I want to make that red, I can make that red. And it just turns red. If I want the white to be blue, then you know, turn the white to blue and then apply it. Instead of going, you know, layer by layer, changing it manually. And butt capper is, you know, whenever it does the shape layer, if you want to round this, the edges, you could click that. Oops, where'd it go? You could click this to make it round. See? And the gritter. Gritter is whenever you have, let's see, a lot of stuff here, and then if you want to make it, or if you want to organize it, I don't know how do you say this, but you know, I think just showing you guys is probably the better explanation. Stuff like this. And this tool, it's called Mobar. I haven't actually got into it too much, but I heard that you could like adjust the shortcuts and all the little functions here, but I have to look around. I haven't actually explored much. And this, let's say, explore layers. It's one of my favorite as well. Let's say you have like a bunch of layers here, right? And if you want to combine these layers, you can click that. It merges to one layer. And then if you want to break this down to different layers, then you could press out. Then it breaks out. Zero tangents, whenever you have a keyframe here, right? So you do this, and you do this, and whenever you want to have the keyframe to what do you call it? Have the tangents to be sharp, then you could click this. Or if you want the left to be, or the out. So it's pretty handy sometimes. And yeah, so that's all the scripts that I use. How do you break down your projects into workable parts? You have so many layers, and it can be very complicated. Very true. That is why you always have to name your layers, and also make sure you are trying to keep things organized. You know, there's no easy way. Just try to make it organized as much as possible. I'm not sure if this stream is recording right now. I have no idea. This is my first time, so. Yes, basically all the tools here that you don't see on default After Effects, it's all plugin and scripts. Some of them are free, some of them are you have to pay. But yeah. 오프라인 강의는 제가 한국에 한번 다시 갈 때 할 예정을 만들어 보도록 하겠습니다. 아직 정확한 일정은 없지만 내년에 아마 한국 갈 것 같긴 한데 그때 한번 생각을 해보겠습니다. How do you create Let's Walk Xcopy? I have to open up the file. Alright, for you, just for you, I'm gonna open up the file. I wanted to end the project here, but let's see. 네, 저 한국 사람 맞습니다. Yes, you can get the DeeKay tool. You have to pay for it though. I'm not sure, I forgot how much it was, but you could Google it. Alright, Xcopy, let's walk. Let's look. How do I make my own style of motion design? I don't know, man. You have to practice a lot, I guess, you know. I've been doing it for almost a decade, and it took me a decade to come up with my own style, I feel like. And even now, I feel like my style isn't fully finessed yet, so just keep practicing and then finesse it. So this is the Xcopy walk. I don't know what to say. It's just very detailed stuff. This is a banner animation here. It adds up. That's the banner and the character itself. It's very all similar with like other stuff that I do. There's a shadow, the head, the body, and the whole body. Okay, moving on to the next question. How many years do you need to become a good motion designer? I don't know. Some people take less than a year to be a good motion designer, and some people take like several years. For me, I think it took me several years, like at least 5 years, where I feel comfortable doing a lot of stuff, but it all depends. It also depends how dedicated you are into this field. How do you come up with fresh ideas? I don't know, just look at a lot of references. Whenever you have a fun idea, try to take a note. And also your idea, it needs to be somewhat realistic, meaning you can't just come up with like a crazy idea where you are not able to execute it. So if finding the right balance where it's realistic and also very crazy and awesome, I think that's like the toughest part. As a beginner, would you recommend starting with this program, or now I want to start with? Yes, After Effects is, I wouldn't say it's the most friendliest and user-friendliest program out there, but once you get hang of it, it's really fun. Try to get used to it. I would recommend learning After Effects, Photoshop, and Illustrator all together, because all those 3 programs are very useful. My career path. I can write a book about this, so I'm gonna try to make it as short as possible. So basically, I went to school called School of Visual Arts, and unfortunately, I didn't graduate, and I dropped out after second year. And after the second year, with the limited skills that I had, I've been sending my resumes and portfolios to many studios, and then I landed in one of the small studio, and there I picked up a lot of skills. And after that, I started doing freelancing for almost a decade, and now here I am. Why you use AI beta version? I don't know, I'm trying out. There's no reason. And I also feel like the beta version is a little faster than the older one. I think they did some pretty good optimizations on the After Effects program itself. What inspires you to creation of art? Many things. Damn, so many questions, sorry guys. Plugins, I guess I use the DeeKay tool plugin a lot, since I use it on my all of my characters. iMac is not good enough for graphic designers? I don't know, I'm using MacBook Pro, I'm using a laptop here. So, you know, I think all Mac computers are pretty fast these days, and you just have to learn how to optimize your files, so then, you know, it's more smooth. How do you manage run and walk till not sliding? This is very technical stuff, so maybe in future I'll cover it. I can't answer it in this at this moment, because it's gonna be too long. What do I love most about my art? I don't know. It's just fun, you know? I have a lot of fun animating my characters. It's always fun. How was your experience working in big tech like Google and Apple? Creativity wise, it's not great. You always have to do what you are told to do, and you can't put too much creativity within the work, so that's bad. But then, you know, as already you guys know, the big tech companies pays well, and also it has good benefits on many things, so it balances out, you know. Some are good, some are bad, but overall it's good. If you want to care more about the money wise, then the big companies are good. But creativity wise, it's not that great. And one of the reasons I left is because I wanted to do my own things. Tutorials, I don't know. I don't know. I've been meaning to make tutorials, but I haven't actually found myself a time yet. But I don't know, maybe in future. 구글링. 그쵸? 모르는 게 있으면 항상 이제 구글 서치를 하면서 해답을 찾고 그런 습관이 아주 중요한 것 같아요. 왜냐면은 항상 일을 할 때마다, 작업을 할 때마다 멈추게 되는 부분들이 되게 많은데, 그런 부분을 커버하기 위해서는 특별히 누구에게 물어보거나 해답을 찾아줄 수 있는 사람이 없다면은 진짜 방법은 구글 서치를 하는 방법밖에 없는 것 같아요. 그러면서 이제 서치하는 실력도 늘고 되게 답답하죠. 뭐 모르는 게 있는데 그 해답을 찾지 못할 때. 저도 그런 적이 너무 많아서. 근데 그러면서 배우는 것 같아요. Alright, I think I'm gonna end this. Thank you all for watching. My echoing voice is very annoying, so I'm sorry. I want to apologize, but I'll have a better setup next time. And thank you all for coming here and spending time with me. Yeah, thank you all. I'm gonna end this here, and until next time, see you guys.